Move over, Ted Cruz, because there is another Texas Republican out there who had their family tree absolutely trashed by Donald Trump, who is now bowing down at the altar of Donald Trump. So I'm sorry, Ted Cruz, but you're yesterday's news. Make way for George P. Bush, the latest in the Bush family tree to decide to run for office this past Wednesday. Maybe it was Tuesday. I don't care either way. George P. Bush did an announcement where he said, I am running for the Attorney General spot here in the state of Texas. I am challenging, indicted, by the way, Attorney General Ken Paxton, Republican. Not only is he indicted for securities fraud, he was indicted for that years ago, still waiting trial, but he's also under another investigation for bribery. So Ken Paxton, the Republican Attorney General of Texas now, has a lot of problems. George P. Bush sees this, knows a Republican's going to win the spot, and figured, you know what the hell, I'm going to do this. And before he made his announcement, he tweeted out a picture of himself on the phone with Donald Trump, and he had this caption. He said, "Great to speak with President Trump to discuss the future of Texas and how we are keeping up the fight to put America first. I appreciate the words of encouragement and support." Then, of course, at this little announcement ceremony for George P.W. Bush, his supporters were handing out koozies with pictures of Donald Trump and George P. Bush, drawn pictures, with a quote from Donald Trump that said, "This is the only Bush that likes me. This is the Bush that got it right. I like him." And that is a direct quote from Donald Trump. So George P. Bush is running for Texas Attorney General on the platform of I love Trump, Trump loves me. But here's the thing, George. If you're trying to run as your uncle did, George W. Bush, as you know, the compassionate conservative, family values conservative, you may want to distance yourself from Donald Trump, because this is a man who for years and years and years, even before he decided to run for president, trashed your family on the regular. Chris Cillizza, who I am no fan of, but anyway, over at CNN, he did put together a list of some of Trump's greatest hits against the Bush family, including George P. Bush's parents. So here they are. We need another Bush in office about as much as we need Obama to have a third term, Trump tweeted back in 2013. No more Bushes. In July 2015, Trump retweeted a Twitter user who claimed that Jeb Bush, quote, has to like the Mexican illegals because of his wife. That would be George P. Bush's mother that Donald Trump retweeted an attack on, claiming that she's an illegal immigrant, even though she was a legal immigrant from Colombia. The war in Iraq was a big fat mistake, Trump said in a Republican primary debate in February 2016. They lied. They said we were weapons of mass destruction. There were none. Okay, that's actually true. Like, I got no problem with Trump saying that. So that's like one of the good things he did. In the summer of 2020, when George W. Bush called for a return to civility in American politics and life, Trump shot back that the former president, quote, was nowhere to be found in speaking up against the greatest hoax in American history. Okay, some of those a little more mild than others. But let's not forget the fact that Donald Trump repeatedly during the 2015 primaries attacked George P. Bush's father, Jeb, on the debate stage, mocked him, made fun of him, low energy Jeb, tweeted out insults to him. Dude, these are your friggin' parents, man. And you are willing to throw them under the bus, to cast them aside, just to get Donald Trump's approval to run for Attorney General in the state of Texas. You are a foul, disgusting human being, which definitely proves that you're a Bush. Because let's not forget, none of these members of the Bush family are good people. I'm sorry, but they're not. They're just as bad as Donald Trump. Now think about the horror of this. What if we had a Bush in office that also had to act more like Trump? So you get the worst of Bush and the worst of Trump all in one candidate. Folks, that's where we're heading. That is how horrifying this truly is. Because he brings all the horrible Bush baggage while embracing all of the horrible things about Donald Trump. And of course, if he wasn't running against an indicted guy who's under a different investigation, he may not have a chance in hell. But as it stands right now, George P. Bush is likely going to be the next Attorney General of the state of Texas. From there, he will likely run for governor, and then we all know what he'll run for after that. All with Donald Trump's approval and likely carrying the Trump base with him.